meeting of the Algonac Board of Education for May 19th, 2014. Everybody please stand for the pledge of allegiance and all silence.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Recognitions and presentations, Mr. Leto.
Superstar Employee of the Month, Mr. Mark Sims. One of the nice things that Mark's colleagues said about him, Mark is a very talented science instructor who has the ability to teach all students. Mark is ultimate professional. We are fortunate enough to have him as an educator with high moral integrity, educating the students of AHS. Congratulations. Thank you.
Next, Mrs. Baldwin.
Well, it's actually a team of us.
Okay.
We have Erica Diss is a Millside STEM teacher, and she ran our science Olympiad at Millside this year. Nikki DeVerne was one of Fairhaven's coaches. Lisa Liberto was also a coach at Algonac Elementary. And then we had, we had Kelly Simcoe as a coach, not the lead. No. Okay, so coach. And then we have Emerson here, who was a participant. And then Mrs. Hanners was also a coach at Algonac Elementary. And then Stella was a participant from Algonac Elementary. And then Mrs. Rollins. So what we'd like to do, this is in the fall, I think, when we were at the elementary principals meeting at USA, and a representative from the home science Olympiad had come to there saying, opening the doors for us to participate in the home science Olympiad because they couldn't probably just not run their own. And they had talked about it, and at that meeting I quickly texted Erica and asked if she'd be willing to spearhead something like this. It's a huge project, an amazing undertaking, and it not only takes a lead at the schools, but it's a huge undertaking for all of the coaches and all the students as well. I'm going to turn this over to Erica so she can tell you a little bit about science Olympiad.
I'm just going to explain first what Science Olympiad is all about. It's an international nonprofit organization, and their goal is to improve science, the quality of science education. They want to increase students' interest in science and in math and technology, engineering, and they want students to be recognized for these things in the school. The events. The goals of Science Olympiad, they're accomplished through lots of trainings, lots of workshops, and lots of tournaments. As a head coach, we had to go through trainings and workshops to be able to train our 16 coaches for each event. And just kind of give us, an idea how to run it in our schools. And then the 16 event coaches had opportunities to go to workshops and learn all about their event, their specific event, so that their team would be able to be successful. And then there's the tournaments. There's a district tournament. There was quite a few of those. There's only so many schools that can go to each of those. And then there's the big regional tournament, which is what we went to in May. The students, they compete as teams. Most of the teams are 2 to 3 students. They can have 1 student on the team. Most of them are 2. They prepare during the school year. I'm not sure how, Lisa, did you guys meet once a week too?
Most of the teams met once a week.
We met once a week, and most of the kids had 2 events, some had 3 events that they were participating in. And they prepared, I mean, they worked really, really, really hard. Some of the, like for example, the A is for Anatomy event, and there's so much information they need to know, it's incredible. The events were, they're easily integrated into our science curriculum, so, I mean, it was really, really a great learning experience for them. The events actually do represent the different science disciplines: biology, earth science, chemistry, physics, technology. It was a lot of fun. Let's see. Yeah, there's elementary and then there's, they also have it in the middle school and high school level as well. A balanced approach. The events require a knowledge of science facts and concepts, processes, skills, science application, lots of teamwork. That's what I love most about this about Science Olympiad. I mean, the teamwork, they have to work as a team, they have to, not even just for the study events, but the building events, the engineering events, they have to, bounce ideas off each other. It's really tapped into their creativity. Let's see. The overall goals for Science Olympiad, they want the students to capture and retain that interest in science, to build that interest, and to also develop, pride for what they've accomplished, and to be recognized for that. It enhances their self-esteem, and they, it's a team. They feel like they belong to a team. And it also, like I said before, the enrichment of classroom science programs. I mean, it ties right in with our curriculum and everything that they're learning in school. And also the involvement of the community. For example, our t-shirts were donated from Algonac Lions, and we had grandparents coaching, not even just the parents. So it was really nice. It really brought the community together. Let's see. The objectives. Science Olympiad, they want to bring science to life to the students, to show how science works, not just to give them all that just information, but they actually learn how it works. They, they get their hands on it, to problem solve. They also expose the students to real life challenges, that teamwork, that working together, that can all transfer to real life situations for them. So it's really good skills for them to learn. Let's see. It also attracts more students to careers in science and technology and science teaching. They become more interested in it. And like I said before, the teams. They're made up of 16 students. They can have alternates. We had 2 alternates at Millside. Some schools have more than that. Only 16 were able to go to the actual regional event in May. Let's see. But the alternates were meeting each week. They were all part of the team. Let's see. And like I said, the events require 2 students, some 3. And, this is just information I gave my students. A parent needs to provide transportation and all that. But the parents were all very, very much involved in this as well. They drove, the kids to and from practices. They even were meeting on the weekends, some of them. It was a big commitment for them, and they did a really great job. Let's see, they had their team t-shirts. And that's pretty much it. I mean, anybody else want to say anything?
Some of the things that I walked away with was, it was the first time for us, and one of my students came up to me at the end and she goes, Miss Doherty, she goes, we might not have won, but our stuff worked. Her rocket didn't blow up, the parachute launched, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And so she felt really positive about that. And she was also in the architecture, history architecture. And so they had to collaborate and work together and design and build something to hold the weight. And theirs worked, and it did it. And it wasn't the tallest or the greatest, but they were very proud of themselves. And I had my 2 daughters there with me, and it was a long day. But they were, Mommy, when can we do this? You know, and they're in first and second grade, so they were really excited about it. It was a great event.
Build that interest, you know.
What were some of the events? You say there were events that you needed to have
I
two-person
coached
teams.
all about bugs. Trust me, I know more about bugs than I ever wanted to know.
I think it's,
We had-
if you minimize motion, or that might be the link for it too, though.
And I had a simple machines one as well, which was, but the kids walked out, and I tell you what, my 2 kids that I had, that I coached, they came out and they were like, wow, Mr. Bernie, it was time. They're like, it was so cool. We saw bugs we never seen before. You didn't tell us about those ones. You know, so they were just so excited. It was a great learning event for all of us.
Did the students get a choice of what science they wanted to go after, or was it
It was about, at Fairhaven, we ran it as what their desire was. And, you know, Ms. Jess and I were talking about how would we guide them better. Next year would be more the coaches, because I can tell you what, I was really not into bugs and I tried my best. I would have chose something different. So I think if we had our coaches really say, I'm good at engineering, or I'm good at this, and go from that standpoint.
for next year?
Yes.
And like with, at the beginning, I had a survey for them. Give me your 2 favorite, your top 2 study events, your top 2 building events, and 2 you absolutely do not want to be in. So I tried to go off of that list and build it that way as well.
We did the same thing at Algonac Gal, and I was going to come up and show you. This is the actual Macomb County website, Science Olympiad, and on here, this is where, because we didn't have any training, so this was the first year for all of us, and I know Jody Gooseites and she was Stella's coach in one of them. So when we're trying to have our parents learn how to be these event coaches, and they're willing and they're dedicated to give this amount of time, but you're picking up something that your child is interested in. My own daughter wanted to do Starry Starry Night, and it was like, okay, where do we even start? The website was a great key for parents. So the 16 events are located here. Anatomy, Charged Up, Ecology Rangers, Grasp a Graph, Mixed. So there's a whole bunch of them. And a parent could just click on what it is, and from there, they would have these different things. So here's the past tests, or different things that they had in there. And then a lot of them have a video of what the event looks like. So parents could watch that video to get an idea of what the event was all about. And so that helped, but until you're actually one time through the competition, we got there and we went, oh, we have to bring our own protractors, and oh, we should really get protractors that match this because they're easier. And so there was a lot to learn. It was a big learning curve. But what I liked is the 16 students, the parents, the teachers, everybody that participated. It was really a fun day. Everybody was cheering on everybody. To hear the kids come back and they're so positive. You know, we would have thought we were taking first and everything. And they're like, we nailed it, we knew it, you know, and so we were like, yay, so just the positive. But Stella and Emerson here were there firsthand in the events as their first year, so I'm going to let them go ahead and say a couple words to you and what they thought.
Okay, I am Emerson Howard, and I go to Millside Elementary. And I'm Stella Goodside, and I go to Elementary. I participated in AS for Anatomy, Grasp the Graph, and Crash Cart Expert, and I participated in Wildlife Safari and Weather. When I got there, I was really nervous because I didn't know what to expect, and I had to learn a lot of stuff, and stuff that I wasn't used to learning. And when we went to the practices, I thought they were going to be more like all information, but we had fun times, and when we went to the competitions, it was a little bit scary the first one because we didn't know like what was really going to happen, and yeah.
And you won medals.
Yeah, we all got participant medals, and then Emily Appleton and I in Grasp the Graph, we were actually lucky enough to place 3rd place, and so we were really
Congratulations.
Skillful enough.
Want to tell them what you did at the Grasp the Graph and one of your things?
For Grasp the Graph, it was a written down test, and we had to answer the questions, and we did a bunch of math, and then at the end we had to draw a graph that answered the questions and we ranked them. And I safari. In that they had skulls and antlers and fur and stuff. And it was a written down test that we had a Scantron for, and we had to answer the questions about the fur or the picture.
What did you take away from that, Emerson?
I took away, first of all, the stuff that we needed to know, and I learned how to get along with the other teams and kind of learn from them because some of them have done it for years, so they knew what they were doing, and we kind of just came in there a little, what's going on? So we kind of learned where to go about today.
That was an interesting point that she made, because I was sitting, they don't let the coaches in the event, and it's like real secretive. And I was sitting there with a bunch of other coaches from another student, oh, so-and-so's retiring, I don't know who's gonna replace them, I'm thinking, wow. They really, the other schools were really, you could tell, it was our first time, but what a good point, and the kids knew it too. And our kids, all of our elementary schools, they all walked out with such positive, like Melissa said, just so excited about it. We did so good. It was great.
Can I add something to it?
Sure.
I live in Macomb County, and my 3 sons have been in Science Olympics there for 9 years. And that event is so highly competitive. And coming from that environment and then being at the event this past year and seeing that the Algonac schools were there, as a science teacher in the district, I was very proud of the fact that you guys, are doing this because, the science and
Thank you very much. And if you'd like to stay for this very exciting school board meeting, you're welcome to, or if you'd like to grab a cookie on your way out. Consent agenda.
Make a motion that the Board of Education approves all consent agenda items, including agenda, minutes, personnel items, treasurer's report, bills as listed, items E.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Information items, administrative reports.
Andy, I guess I'll pop in there. Just a couple things that I shared with the board at the end of last week, and maybe a couple things that would be worth clearing up. Right before Mr. Bruten left, he had given you guys a list of some staff members that were potential layoffs. He had to do that based on the contract and the timelines that they had to have that notification. At that point, we didn't fully know our buyout numbers yet or our retirees, so we were looking to restaff and that right size. When Dr. Stricker came in, him and Brian and I sat down and looked at the staffing needs for the next year. The end result was, out of the 4 listed, we did have a need to bring back 3 staff members. A little bit of different assignments for them, but they will also they will be back with us next year. 4 paraprofessionals also are on that list of roll-ups, and we believe that should get us right size for next year. So what you have is basically what we're up to. Speaking of staffing, end of this week, the posting for the high school principal job will go out. We'll post that with some of the professional organizations, MASSP. Hopefully get a pretty good pull for that. We'll keep it up for probably 2 weeks, which will take us through the 2nd week of June, and see what kind of applicants we get for that. I've talked with Dr. Stricker. He's looking to put together a committee to sit on the hiring for that. More than likely will be when the school years kind of close up for principals, so that way interviewing becomes a little bit easier for them to get out of buildings, if indeed we have some that are applying that already are employed. So I'll keep you posted on the progress of that, but we're gonna try to get a couple teachers on board and possibly some parents as well to sit in on that process. And about the last thing I think is, as you know, Friday we had the track regional over at the high school we hosted. Teams did outstanding, both our teams finished second overall, the entire region, both boys and girls, so that was very good. Several individuals that made, that are gonna be going on to states, upcoming Cheney states next week. Individuals in the team, yeah. So we do have quite a list, and when we'll put those names out to you, and I'm sure you'll see them, come to one of our board meetings so we can recognize them there. And I think that's pretty much about it.
Anyone else?
I have something, Andy. This weekend, the Fairhaven families, several of them spent some very long hours clearing wood on the playground and preparing for an ancient pathway in the Dean schools. You'll see their names in the backstacks, but I wanted to recognize them because they put in a lot of hours and strained a lot of muscles.
One of them even got poison ivy.
Yes, it does not surprise me. My muscles are still recovering, so on behalf of the Fairhaven family, I want to send the thanks.
Anyone else? Any board reports?
Just make a comment, June 7th will be Saturday, the day we have the Muskrat Scramble Golf outing for our student athletes. I'm almost sold out. I've got room for one more foursome, and then it's sold out, but there are plenty of dinner tickets available to come to the evening event. Just wanted to make that.
Oh, very good, thank you. Anyone else? Superintendent's report, we pretty much covered all that. I talked to Dr. Stricker the other day, and he expressed regret that he wasn't going to be able to be here this evening, but that he had a board meeting, his board in New Lothrop, so that's the only reason, that's the only thing that kept him away. Visitors may request.
We have a number of them. First one, Ray Kubeloff, regarding 8th grade state band.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I just wanted to bring notice to the 8th graders. For the second year, they've gone to states for band. And for the second year in a row, they've taken a #1 rating, which if you've never seen a band competition, you get judged by 3 judges for 3 songs. Then you go into a room, you're given sheet music you've never seen before. You have 5 minutes to look at it. You can't play an instrument. Mr. Grass can only stand there, let you hum, let you whistle, let you count, do whatever. In 5 minutes, you gotta play that song and be judged on it. When I left, there was probably already 20 schools that gone through. Algonac was only the second one that had ones across the board. And when we first walked in there, you're judged 1 through 4. And once you get to state, it's usually a 1 or a 2. If you usually mess up, it's a 3. But when we walked in there, there was a lot of 2s and 3s and 4s on the board, which meant the judges were being picky. So for Algonac to do that, I just wanted to call attention to them for 2 years ago.
Next, Christy Bottle, regarding layoff of Ms. Porter.
I have a lot of information. I apologize if it goes quickly because I want to be able to get it all out. And I wrote it down just because there's so much. Tonight you'll probably hear a lot of heartfelt pleas from some of the parents and the wrestlers themselves on behalf of Mr. Corbett. We understand and appreciate the need for budget cuts and that you cannot make decisions on emotions alone. So we have gathered many facts, and we ask you to consider them before finalizing your decision about laying off Mr. Corbett. Many changes have taken place since adding Coach Ranger 3 years ago and Coach Corbett 2 years ago. The season prior to Coach Ranger, we had 12 to 13 high school athletes. The past season, we had 35. We had the largest squad in the BWAC this year, more than Richmond, Croslex, Marysville, and St. Clair. The only other school who had 2 more than us was Anchor Bay, who has 1,900 students to pull from. And we have not near that. Wrestling has had the highest growth rate percentage-wise than any other Algonac sport in the past 3 years. Our records for the last 3 years, in 2011 and 12 school year, we had 7 wins, 13 losses. We voided 4 matches at every meet we went to because we did not have enough students to fill every weight class, so we automatically lost those. In the 2012 and 13 school year, we had 14 wins and 11 losses, and we were district champs. In the 2013 and 14 year, we had 17 wins and 9 losses. 6 losses were by 10 points or less, which, if you know wrestling, that is a very close match. And you're up in the 50s, 60s as far as points by the end of the meets. Each of these years, we've had at least one state qualifier or placer. The last one prior to our new coaches coming in was in 2007, we had a qualifier, and in 2003, we had a placer. We had our first Macomb County champ since 1987, the district champs in 2013. No other sport has won district champs in the past 3 years except for track. We were the 2013-14 school year Blue Water Belt champions, which is a rivalry series that was started by our program, our new coaches, which goes up against Marysville and St. Clair, which both had very good wrestling programs, and we defeated both of them and brought the belt home this year. Each year, more than 20 athletes have attended Richmond Wrestling Camp. And if anyone knows wrestling, they know Richmond has a really great program, and you learn a lot from them. More than 10 high school athletes attended the state champ Jeff Jordan Wrestling Camp in Ohio each year since Coach Ranger's been here. Due to the uncertainty of whether we would even have coaches this year with the pending layoffs, which we didn't know until just recently that Coach Ranger was not being laid off, we've lost our spot for this year. That is a well-renowned camp that they have large waiting lists that you have to get on. You have to pay a large deposit way in advance. We've lost that spot for this year, and for possibly many years to come. It just depends on when a space opens again, another school drops out, then hopefully they'll take us back. Open mats are offered to these boys 2 to 3 times a week during spring, summer, and fall. This gives these boys something productive to do through the off-season, keeping them out of trouble, off the video games, and learning and practicing new wrestling skills for the upcoming seasons. In addition to high school and middle school wrestling, we now have the Mat Rat program, which is equivalent to the Tapler Little League. It's a little bit smaller because it's starting out, it's 3rd year into it, 2nd year into it. And that's caters to children ages 5 years to 5th grade. In 3 years, we've raised approximately $4,000 from various fundraisers, with several additional fundraisers in the plans for the summer to aid in implementing of safety measures to the new wrestling room over at Algonquin Middle School. School of choice is a big part of this. Everyone's heard the quote, "If you build it, they will come." Richmond built it, they've come. Every year, Richmond gets 4 to 5 new students per year just because of their wrestling program. Algonac in the past has lost students to Richmond as well as Anchor Bay. For example, Ed Henry, which was a state placer, Devin Skatsko, which is a 3-time state champ who's graduating this year, and he's also one of the top recruited in the nation. He could have been an Algonac Muskrat. And Lee and Brad died. Algonac currently has 3 to 4 school of choice athletes on the high school and middle school roster, each bringing in approximately $7,000 to the district. The Mat Rat program has drawn in at least 5 students from other districts that could potentially be school of choice students in the future, potentially bringing in even more funding in the future. Last year, BWAC moved the middle school season to November through December, which is at the same time as the high school. There's no way one person, one coach, can coach both, especially since middle school meets are the same nights as our high school weighing days. One coach simply can't be in two places at once. Corbett is experienced in the sport and coaching and has what it needs to prepare these athletes for competition when they reach the high school level. To build a good sustainable program that will draw in families to our community, a good coaching staff is a must. Algonac is the only BUAC school without a second paid coach and the only program in the high school who has a lower level JV program but no paid coach. There's no possible way Coach Ranger can continue this effort very long left on his own to continue to see success and growth. He will need not only an assistant/middle school coach, but someone like Coach Corbett who knows the sport and has the same enthusiasm and passion as Coach Ranger does. They both go above and beyond for our school, teaching by day, coaching by night. Wednesday night high school meets, Thursday night middle school meets, Saturday high school and middle school tournaments, Sunday mat rack tournaments, plus all of the off-season open mats, camps, and fundraisers. The two together have proven that they can and will be successful and profitable both for the wrestling program and the district. You will be hard-pressed to find another coach that will step in and do all that Corbett has done and that works as well with Coach Ranger. We just ask that you please take this information into consideration before proceeding with your final decisions on laying off Coach Corbett. He's a valuable asset, as you can see. Maybe you knew some of this information, maybe some of this is new to you. We just ask that you take it into consideration and really look at all the numbers and the facts in the future of the wrestling program before you make your final decision. Thank you.
Roger, regarding Coach Corbett.
Hi, my name is Roger Pruitt. I have two kids, one in high school, one in middle school. Both of them have been with both Ranger and Corbett. Both coaches are excellent coaches. I really hope, I wrestled years ago and I seen both having a good coach and someone that wasn't really involved. My senior year, the coach I had was fired halfway through the year, which was probably a good thing. Seeing both the Mat Rack program, the junior high, and also the high school program they're leaps and bounds, compared to even back when I was in school. I really hope you guys reconsider having, keeping Corbett on. He's definitely a big value to this community. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Santos Alvarez regarding Corbett.
How do I ask that? Kind of be quick. See, Corbett, he came like my junior year. I started wrestling in like 7th grade, and ever since I joined wrestling, I really liked it a lot. Went to a ton of camps, went to tons of wrestle tournaments every weekend, throughout the spring, throughout the summer, winter. When wrestling season started, I was always doing that. And I seen a lot of coaches. I seen what it takes to be good. And Corbett, see, we had a coach my freshman year who, I won't say they're not the greatest, but they weren't bad. And then when Corbett came my junior year, I didn't know what to expect from him. And I could tell, Ranger's a great coach too. And then Corbett, he didn't really learn from Ranger. He had already came and he knew what it took to be a great, not just wrestler, but a person. I know you guys cut one of the wrestling coaches, right? Wasn't a wrestling coach cut. And I know it was Clyde Corbett, and he wasn't getting paid for the high school to coach, but he still came every day, every tournament, every dual meet, if he, was a part of it. He has kids at home, he has a wife, he could have been with them, he could have been, helping them, but instead he came, and he would still help everyone, and he never even talked about it. That's not what he was worried about. They love wrestling, they love the program, and I can tell you, there was no mad rats, there was no one really, even trying to help this program at all before Ranger and Corbett. And Corbett's definitely, he's probably one of the better assets. And I can tell you that if he doesn't come back next year, if he's not coaching, this program, like I said, it's gonna fall because Ranger, he can't do it by himself though. And it's gonna be hard to replace a guy like Corbett. Because Corbett has definitely taught me a lot, especially because I've made it to state tournament 3 times. One of the times was with Ranger, and my other 2 times was with Corbett, which I placed third both those times. And he's just been they've been great role models, they're great leaders. They don't just teach you about wrestling, they like to teach you about life lessons. They don't punish us for certain reasons. They want to make sure that we get the life lesson out of it, and that when we get older in life, that things aren't going to be easy, things aren't going to be certain ways, and that you got to, adversity, you got to push through it, you got to learn to adjust and change, and that's about it.
And hearing your explanation of all of those things that coaches are supposed to do certainly lets all the rest of us know that that's what's been happening. So congratulations to you for picking that up, and congratulations to your parents, all of you parents, for reinforcing the things that come through all the rest of the athletic experience.
Excuse me, I was running a little late. Is it possible for me to still speak?
Sure.
Okay.
You can bring that
Yeah.
here.
Thank you for selecting my things. Hello, my name is Kathleen Kuntz-Pilak. I'm a resident of the Algonac Community School District. Both of my sons attend Algonac Community Schools, and tonight I'm here because I'd like to acknowledge the school board and thank you for your dedication and commitment to employing quality teachers. The teachers that you employ within this district have been responsible for my sons and my son's success in their academic endeavors. Both of my sons have received honors from the district. Both of my sons have done very well here. And so I want to thank you because it's through the dedication of this board and the commitment to our community that we have these fine educators that sit before us. And tonight we heard an awesome presentation about the Science Olympiads and what they're doing with these young minds and helping these young ladies and our male students to achieve that higher education, to open their minds, to be future leaders for us. So it's because of our school boards across the United States that this happens, because they employ the great educators that we have here today. And as the students were talking about, this Coach Corbin, and how important he's been in their lives and informing them and helping them to be great wrestlers. But these wrestlers will go on to be firefighters and doctors and lawyers. And it's because of the Algonac School District's board that we have this fine district. So today I come before you because I want to talk to you about the Blue Water Middle College and the impact that that's also making on our community. One of the things that I would like this school board to consider is the district's position at this point that any of our fine students that are going to the Blue Water Middle College will not be allowed to walk with honors. When they cross our graduation, when they graduate with their classmates, and true, they're not going to take their diploma into the next year, but when they cross with their fellow students, they're not going to be allowed to walk with honors, even if they have received honors all the way through their academic career with the Algonac School District. And out of the 5 school districts that are utilizing the Blue Water Middle College, Algonac School District and Yale are the only 2 districts that will not allow their students to walk with honors. Now, in the other school districts, they will allow them to walk with honors, but they're not allowed to apply for any scholarships, which is right. They shouldn't be applying for any scholarships because they're currently enrolled in college. I would like the school district to reconsider that, because one of the things is I feel it's sending a bad message. It's sending a message that if you're going to pursue a higher education, you will be penalized by the very district that's giving you the gift to go after that higher education. It's because of the work of this school board and of the educators that these kids are ready for college and starting to take college classes in 11th grade. I also feel that we do not, as a school district, we do not discriminate against the students that go to TAC, that go to Baker College. Those students walk with their rank and also with their honors across our graduating platform. So I think that we have kind of a diversity going on there, because we're utilizing school districts to pay for kids to go to TAC. We're utilizing our school districts when they enroll in Baker College.
So I think that we need to look at that. Also, on the Recess School website, it lists the Blue Water Middle College. At no time in that whole presentation under RESA does it say that the school district will discriminate against your student. And they will not be allowed to walk with honors if they go to the Blue Water Middle College. When the Blue Water Middle College was brought in and it was originally presented to us, during the presentation, it didn't say that. So I think that we need to look at that as a district. I also feel that the district needs to take pride in that you have prepared these students and motivated these students to want to reach a higher education. It's through this school district that these students are ready to go to college. So I think it's an opportunity for us to take pride on that these kids are dual enrolled. They attend our school district, they should be allowed to graduate the honors that they've received. But that we've also had this to offer in our community. I have a son that is in 10th grade, and he is considering not going to the Blue Water Middle College. And why? The answer is because he wants to walk with honors. He's a straight A kid. He's been through every grade. He's gotten A's, straight A's, all the way through 10th grade. And is considering, and the reason he doesn't want to go to the Blue Water Middle College is because he's like, but Mom, I want to walk with honors with my fellow classmates. I want to be a part of the National Honor Society. I want to be recognized, but I'm a muskrat. But I also want to start my college education. So I think that as a district, we need to look at why is the other districts doing it? Why is Port Huron allowing kids to graduate with honors? But Algonac, we're not. We're penalizing them for taking that next step, but we're responsible for them for being ready to take that next step. So I just want you to kindly consider in the future, if we allow these students to walk with honors, I think it sends a positive message. And just like our statement, I'm gonna end here, our statement of vision for Algonac schools. The Algonac Community Schools vision is to create an exemplary school district that is acknowledged for the diversity of educational programs, the quality of its staff, and the caliber of the graduates it produces. That's our vision statement. And you guys have done a fine job, and I think that we can continue as a community to do that. Thank you for your time, and again, I apologize for being late.
That's all right. Thank you.
How staff members are chosen for layoff, because I wanted to commend the people that came here and spoke today about their awesome coaches, and Santos for being brave enough to get up in front of this entire group of adults and sort of speak on behalf of his coach. And I fear that some of the people don't realize that we don't want to lay off the coach. It's just that it goes by union contract guidelines, etc. So I just want to be sure that our folks in the community realize that this is not a choice. If we were to just choose someone else because we don't want to lose a wrestling coach, that we would be in breach of a contract. So I was maybe wondering if Mr. Ochos could reiterate.
I'd be happy to. When layoffs come up, and first of all, what we need to do is obviously determine the amount of staff that we need, and based on the budget, we're obviously trying to make sure that that staff is as tight as possible. It's pretty common across all districts. The things that we look at are, first of all, what jobs are available in terms of what certification is needed to teach them. And then we look at certain things, qualification, certification, the evaluation process. We look at where teachers rank. Are they effective? Are they highly effective? Are they minimally effective? And that, of course, is done on every teacher is evaluated every year. In the case this year, where we were at, all the people that were on our list were all rated as effective teachers. And so when you take that factor in and you take a look at the positions available, and again, with qualification and certification being the number one thing, you gotta make sure that they're highly qualified to teach in that area. And we look at the effectiveness, which is equal. The final step on that would be seniority. And in the case of this, if you look
down the list, all our layoffs were done based on that. And if it were, again, if you're in a position where you have somebody that has been viewed as minimally effective or rated that way, certainly that will come into play. That's the number one factor that we look at. But under the circumstances this year, we had effective teachers that we were looking at, in which case the next step down is seniority.
So strictly seniority.
I believe,
After the other two.
yeah, but I believe in this case, we were looking at, the positions available were based on qualification.
Thanks.
Action items, awarding the bid of the expansion of wireless infrastructure at Algonquin Middle School. I'll make a motion that the Board of Education accept the bid of NETEC Incorporated in the amount of $34,599 for the purchase of items related to expansion of the wireless infrastructure at Algonquin Middle School as part of the iPad implementation project. The district will use technology readiness infrastructure grant money to pay for the project.
Support.
Been moved and supported, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Approval of KSS invoices?
Andy, you go back on that one,
Sure,
just for the, that trig money was last year we got a pot of trig money, and this year we also got a pot. It basically came down to about $19,000 each year. The first year's worth of money, and we kind of held on and, I think it's back there, but, yep, we, wanted to make sure that we weren't jumping ahead and making purchases of the equipment that wasn't gonna necessarily be used. We were realistically hoping to know what device would be, used for the upcoming assessment, which we don't know the answer to that. At the end of this fiscal year, that first pool of money, if you haven't used it, you use it. And so, in Evan's assessment, and as we've talked, upgrading infrastructure is always a can't lose on that, so that was what we decided to put that money to.
Okay, thank you very much. Approval of KSS invoices.
I'd like to request recusal from the vote, please, due to a possible conflict of interest.
I'll make a motion that Susan Trebilcock be recused from the vote on this motion due to a possible conflict of interest.
Support.
Been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes.
Motion to approve the payment to KSS Enterprises in the total amount of $181.87 for the purchase of custodial supplies.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Rescinding of a SIP agreement. I'll make a motion to approve the revocation of the Service Incentive Plan Agreement and release as signed by Robert Grass on April 7th, 2014, and approved by the Board of Education on April 28th, 2014. This revocation is in accordance with the letter of understanding as presented between Robert Grass, the Algonac Education Association, and the school district. Been moved and supported. Any discussion?
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, thank you. Anything else? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Resolutions for the RESA budget?
I motion that the Board of Education, having received and reviewed the St. Clair County basic budget for 2014-2015, adopts the resolution as presented, expressing its support or disapproval of the proposed budget.
You have to pick one.
Oh, sorry. Expressing its support of the proposed budget. A complete copy of the resolution is attached.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Resolution setting the public hearing on the 2014-2015 budget.
I'll move that the Board of Education approves the resolution as presented, setting the date and time for the public hearing on the proposed 2014-2015 budget on Monday, June 23rd, 2014, at 6:15 p.m. in the Board of Education conference room,
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? This is the hearing that we have every year just prior to our regular June meeting. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Motion to adjourn.